Hi, welcome to my side hustle, episode 4, getting my first client, phase 2. We're gonna pick up right where we left off, sending the sample to publishers and see who might wanna do a project together. But before we go on, I just wanna say right away that things are going better than I could wish for, because I just signed my very first paying client for a full-on sales letter project with one of the oldest financial publishers out there. So yeah, this week been pretty dope. But yeah, let's break down how we got from writing a sample to signing the first project. And the steps are exactly like the Reddit post described. First of all, you should find the publishing companies that are already using copywriting services in whatever niche you're targeting. Then you should go on LinkedIn and add everyone with relevant titles to your connections. Then you should go and find email addresses of these people, and yeah, you just need to email them after that. So in my case, the first step was pretty easy because the author of the Reddit post is also in the financial niche, and he shared how he goes around building his list of leads. And it's a website we already talked about, Storm Gumshoe. Long story short, it features publishing companies, most active publishing companies in the financial niche that use direct response copywriters. If you're in some other niche, I'm pretty sure there are also some nice ways to go about getting the leads. But even in worst case scenario, you can just go and on your search engine and start typing, best stocks or whatever, or best treatment for back pain, and then start clicking on ads. And then this way you can find publishers who are using copywriters as well. Number 2 should be easy for everyone. You literally just go on LinkedIn and type in the name of the company. You click on a page of that company, and then there's an option for see everyone who works at that company, and then you click there and then start literally adding everyone with relevant titles, such as anything that has to do with marketing, digital advertising, copywriting, obviously, CEOs, VPs, presidents, editors. So you get the idea. Just add them all, and after you do that, I would first of all focus on people who add me back, because it means they're at least somewhat interested and they already know your name. And you need to find their emails, and usually they would have it on their LinkedIn page when you click contact information. Not all of them, and sometimes they would have their personal, but I prefer to find their work email address. And you can use this awesome tool. It's free. It's a Chrome extension. It's called Hunter. This extension basically tells you the email format for any company. You just go on the website and then you launch that extension, and then that extension gonna figure out what's the corporate email format. And since you have the first and last name from LinkedIn, you can just put these two together and you have the email. It worked really well for me. I basically found all my emails through Hunter. It's not necessary for people to add me on LinkedIn for me to contact them. Sometimes if I feel like this is a publisher, I really want to see if we could work together, or I just like their products or whatnot, I would still find their email and contact them. It's just nice when people add you on LinkedIn, because you can open your email with, hey, thanks for adding me on LinkedIn. And this one-liner kind of makes the whole thing much warmer, but it's not really a must. Once you're there, all that's left is to write and send the email, and Reddit post provides tons of templates of how you could do that. But it's essentially 3 things. One is to make your email very customized to the publisher you're contacting. Number 2, you gotta show them what you can do for them. And number 3, you gotta provide some action requests so that they get back to you. In terms of number 1, all you gotta do is to go and study the publisher a little bit. Maybe you've already seen some of the funnels, you're familiar with some of the products, talked about those, mention the names, mention the name of the funnels. This way, when the publishers start reading your email, they will see that all this familiar words popping up, and this will really help you to increase the chances of getting a response back. Number 2 is you just need to provide a link to your Google Drive where you're gonna post your sample, so that they could see where you're at with your copywriting and what kind of style you have, and whether this is something they could use. And number 3, just say something like, let's connect over Skype or phone when you have time this week, maybe next week. And that's it. Now, one important little detail is to track that email, just so you know whether it actually got opened and whether somebody clicked the link. You can use some Google Chrome extensions. For that, there's a lot of them, free and paid ones. Pick whichever you like. The reason it's important is because you want to know whether you're not hearing back because they're just not interested, or because they've never even seen your message, or because your sample sucks. And while this doesn't give you all of the information, it gives you a pretty good idea. Like, okay, if everybody opened the email and everybody clicked the link and nobody replied, then there's probably something wrong with my sample. I might want to go back and get some feedback on my sample first and try to work on that first. Or maybe if nobody's, opening the emails, you should find some other ways to contact these people. So super useful. Definitely have to do that. So yeah, that was the plan. I sent 7 emails, 5 got opened, 3 people clicked the link. I also got one message from one of the people I added on LinkedIn, but they were looking for more of a pure research-based role, so that's a story for another day. Out of the emails, I got 2 replies. One ended up being a full sales letter project, another one more of a commission-based role just for coming up with sales angles for their existing products. The sales letter one was actually very lucky circumstances because not only they don't have anyone in-house for copywriting, but they also just parted with their contractor who was doing copy for them for years. But what's also cool is that they are looking to do a cannabis campaign, and my sample was about a cannabis stock, and they liked the sample. So yeah, very lucky. The second publisher who gave me some sort of a commission-based role has in-house copywriters, so I don't think they want anyone else to be doing the writing part. But I think they liked my Mona Lisa sample, and they offered me basically this kind of a deal where they would give me a product, and then I would offer them a couple of sales angles, and then how they could structure the copy, and then they would pay me like $1 a lead that it brings, which doesn't sound a lot, but they told me that the campaign they want me to work right now, it has brought like 7,000 leads, so it could be good over time. And yeah, for the sales letter, they actually asked me what I would like to get paid, and I just went with what I've learned from Reddit: 5K upfront, 5K at completion, 5% net sales royalty. Except I also offered 25% discount because this is our first project together, and I don't really have anything in my portfolio. One thing I'm pretty sure I messed up is the royalties thing, because for whatever reason I decided to quote royalties on a 1-year basis, whereas I'm pretty sure royalties are supposed to be perpetual, but yeah, a deal is a deal. But in any case, they accepted my quote, and now we're in the copywriting business. Now the information in these Reddit posts was spot on accurate, and the only couple of things I would add is that everyone I spoke with, which is like 3 publishers, but they all asked me how long I've been writing copy for, who else I worked with in the past, and whether they could see more of my work. Maybe it's because I made it super obvious that my sample is a mock-up. Maybe if you make yours look more like a real campaign, you won't get these kind of questions. Also, I think it's better to write 2 samples instead of 1, because when they ask you whether they could see more of your work, you could send them something instead of saying this is like the only piece you've ever written in your life. In terms of how long I've been writing and who else I know, I was very upfront. I just said something like, I'm looking for my first real project. But one thing that really played to my advantage is the fact that the guys who end up hiring me were like the last one to talk to me. So by the time I started talking to them, I was already in discussions with the other 2 publishers, so I could at least say I sent the sample to these guys and to these guys, and right now we're having this kind of discussions. So yeah, anything is better than a plain nay. So yeah, that's the video, guys. This is how I went from writing a sample to signing my first project. Next week, we're going to talk about getting on the phone with the client as well as structuring the project timeline. Until then, have a good time, everyone.